So hey guys, welcome back to my channel Tech Helpers. So today we will be doing something different. Sorry for the long delay of the videos. So from now on this channel will be dedicated for programming and programming tutorials mainly based on Python. So today I will start with my first video, which is going to be one of the series with 3 videos. Python basics, about Python basics. So let's get started. So first of all, I am using a text editor known as VS Code. So I'll just delete everything so we can start from the beginning. So I'll just be showing you how to download VS Code. So to download VS Code, go to code.visualstudio.com/download. I will give you a link in the description of the video to download VS Code. So now once you open VS Code, as you can see on the left side, go this it won't be like this. When you open VS Code for the first time, it will be like this. So what you need to do first is click on the Explorer, and here you can see open folder and clone repository. We will be focusing on open folder for most of our programming duties. So which means opening a folder in which all our code has been written. So now you need to go to the extensions tab. In the extensions tab, search Python. Search Python. And the first one you should see should be Python. So click install, wait for it to install, and then you should be ready to go. I already have it installed here. So that's how to get started with VS Code. So now I have a folder known as scripts. So in that folder, I will right click new file. Oh, to open this folder, all I did was in the new window, just click on the open folder button and click on the open folder button and choose the folder in which where you have your project. So I have a folder for this video, and in this folder I am having a folder called scripts. So in that folder we will be writing all our code. So right click on the scripts folder or any folder that you want to add code in, hit new file, and then type in any name you want, dot py. You should do py because it shows that this file is a Python file. So if you don't do py, if you don't type py, then you will just get a normal text file basically. As you can see, I just have a text file. That's not what we want. So I'll just rename this to py and hit enter. Now this is a Python file. So while starting out in Python, one of the most basic things you need to know about is is how to do the Hello World, which is one of the most famous starter programs that any Python beginner should try while learning Python for the first time. So I will now teach you about a few things. To watch this video, you should at least have a little bit of knowledge about how lists, strings, etc. work in Python, because we will only be focusing on the commands and some code examples. So first of all, we have the print command. This is a print command. When you run the file, whatever is inside the print command as a string or as a variable, whatever is inside the print command will be printed out as text in the output. So for example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a string. The double quotes in between what we are writing means that it is an alphabetical word or a string, meaning, for example, we write sentences, etc. It is a alphabetical or numerical sentence. That is a string. You can use double quotes or single quotes. So now as I print this, you can see that I get 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see here. So now I'll show you how to print the value from a variable. So let's just give it any name. uh, I'll just keep first tutorial variable, so short form ftb or tv1, just a short form, and then as soon as you type equals, it turns into a variable. But if you give some specific thing or something inside, it might change its properties. So for example, in this variable we have blah 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 blah, blah 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So how do we print that? Well, to print that, you just need to type the name of the variable. As you can see. But if it is not, if it is not a string, if you just type a number but not a string, then you will get a type error. I'm sorry, what? Oh, sorry. The print command is actually converting it into a string since it has already been identified as a string. So now if I change this to like integer, if I change this to integer, integer int 1 2 3 4 5. Now what happens if we run it? Guess, comment your answers. You get a print of it, because in a variable, even if you have a numerical value, the print command will try to convert it into a string if possible. So it will print the value of that variable. It will print the value of that variable. If I have integer a b c d, that would be wrong. If I have it like in double quotes, that will still be wrong, because the integer command will only work on numerical things. As you can see, it's a type error, I mean a value error. But if you have 1 2 3 4 5, for example, in strings in an integer, if you convert it, you will actually work it will actually work, because it is a numerical value inside the string. So using the print command, you can print anything onto the screen. In fact, you can actually print it from different functions. We will do more of that later after a few videos. So that's the print command cover. Now we have the if statement. The if statement is a part of three different statements. One of them is optional. Those three are if, elif, elif, and else. If, elif, else. So with if, for example, if TV equals 5, if let's just say TV equals 6, but if tv equals meaning is equal to the value of tv is equal to 6, then only if the value of tv is equal to 6 will this run. Let's just say printmatch print match. Else if meaning else if, like, this is what will run if original if statement does not run. So you can have as many else sorry, excuse me. So you can have as many else if statements as you want before at the end, but at the end you need to give an else statement if you are using an if statement at the starting. But if there is a else if statement, then there's not exactly a necessity to give the else statement. So else if tv equals 6, oops, sorry about that. Totally messed up my typing there. Yes, not match. So if I run this, I'm not going to get any errors. Let me just change this to 5. So if tv, the value of the variable tv is equals to 5, then it will print the word match. You can also do this with strings. For example, if the value of tv is string a b c d, you can do like this. Remove the 5, type a string a b c d. So if both of those strings match, then only will this statement occur. So let's go back to my example. So it is 6, it's not 5. So this block of code will not be executed, but this block of code will, because it is 6. So it will print not match. But instead, if you have this as 5, it will execute the first statement, and it will say match. If you have an unknown variable, let's say 95, what will happen? The program will just end, because to have a statement before ending, you need to have an else statement. So if you just have if and a bunch of elifs, or just one elif, any number of elif statements, and you don't have an else statement at the ending, then you're going to have problems. So if the value, or not even one condition out of all those statements is true, then the program will just abruptly end, which is a problem. So we need else statement, and this is actually supposed to be in order. So if as many, first statement will be if, after that there will be as many else statements as you require, and at the end there's else there, since it is just if none of the above match, none of the above statements match, then this will be executed. So you don't need to write any statements for this. I can just write print no matches, no matches meaning no matches at all. So now if I run with 95, it will say no matches. Since the above two statements are not meaning are not true, the else statement, its last option will be executed by default. So now we have learned about if, elif, and else statements. Also, there are also things known as comments. Comments are comments are the text that does not execute any type of code, but it's just there for the convenience and organization of the user. So it's showing me an error because it's a block of code and it needs to be finished. But if I have a hashtag at the starting, it converts it into a comment, meaning it does nothing. It has no function other than for the organization for the user or the programmer to make it easy to know which code executes what. So I will just hashtag all of the following commands so we don't get any errors. I'll just leave a few spaces. Also, there are indentations. I did not explain about that, so sorry about that. But there are things known as indentations. Let me explain. So I have an elif statement. I'll just have, what do I say? I'll just have some variable known as run equals true. Elif run, I can, sorry, elif run equals true, true. For true, the first letter has to be capital since Python is case sensitive. I'm sorry, I'm using elif, that's the error. If true, as you can see, there is about 4 space bars worth of space left here. You can give these indentations by just pressing the tab button once, but yes, it automatically indents. So what this means is that from now on, whatever you write is a part. Whatever has one indentation is a part of this statement. Whatever has this one indentation is a part of this code. So if I have the same code again copied in here, now whatever I have from here onwards is a part of the first statement, but whatever I have here onwards is part of the second statement. So as it goes on, the indentations go on. So to give an indentation, you can just hit tab. It will just do it all for you. So that is indentation. So all I will do to move them forward is just press tab on them, so you can easily see without the confusion of the hashtags in the way. So for the last and final thing that I want to show in this video, please do remember once again that this is not an absolute beginner tutorial. This tutorial is for people who know at least the bare bone basics of Python list, strings, etc., variables, constants, etc. This tutorial series is for Python. It's not for absolute beginners. It is for Python beginners, not absolute beginners. The people who have a little bit knowledge. But if you don't have any knowledge about this, please watch a few tutorials or take a few courses or something until you at least get the basics, bare bone basics, list, strings, variables, constants, etc. about Python. So now for the last and final command, meaning last and final part of this video, I will be showing you all a simple, what shall we call it, a simple program. So just give me a second. So now I'll be showing you our last and final command, the input command. So the input command is the command through which you can get user input. For example, v1, a variable, equals input brackets. So now the value of v1, let me just print v1, print v1. So you can see what we have written. So now we will be saying the value of v1. So if I just type 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 and enter, it will print. So now that is the value of v1. But as soon as you end the program, that value is lost. You can use pickle or such modules to save it to a specific file. So this is the input function. Additionally, if you want to prompt or tell the user like what options they have or what they can do, you can inside the brackets of the input function keep the quotes or double quotes and type. I'll just type whatever the hell that is. So that will display. You can be nicer than me and write something meaningful. Give a semicolon space. So it's not like mushed up together, you know. So give a space at the end, just like this. And now you can type blah 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 blah, and you can prompt whatever the user has options for or can do through by giving a string, by adding a string in the brackets of the input function. And I hit enter, and it won't save the string that you gave, but it will save the user input that you give. So thanks for watching this video. But wait, I still have one more small program to show you. So now we will do a simple creative program. You can do anything that you want. UI meaning user input in short form. I'll just do that whatever I want. You can give any name you want. So this is like just an example of a few features that we are using. Input, what is your name, you can do, or like choose any number. You can say choose any number from, sorry, choose any number from 1 to 3, 1 2 or 3. And enter. And if ui equals equals 1, then print print. So if you are not an absolute beginner, you should know about f strings. So f string, and then now I'll just give the v f ui is space, and then I'll give this curly braces and enter ui. This is why I told you to have at least a few basics to know. And then I will give elif elif ui equals it. So you don't exactly need to do this part, but you can actually just enter the number directly 1. But I'm just doing this as a confirmation because, you know, for understandability of the code, if ui is equals to 1, we'll just make it print 1. But um, I am actually trying to use everything we learned in this, so I'll just make it print the value of UI, not one, but the value of UI. So now, if UI is equals to 2, I will do print. So basically, you can just copy it if it's like this. Okay, you can copy it and you can just paste it. No need to change every single letter inside this or the number or anything constantly. You can just copy it and paste it. No big deal. And I will do else. L if sorry. L if UI equals 3. I'll just make it print this. Else, if they give any other number other than 1, 2, or 3, see, we will print. Okay, you should only give a number from 1, 2, or 3. You should only give the numbers 1, 2, or 3. We will do that. So let's type in. You should only enter the numbers 1, 2, or 3. So now if I run the program, I give it 1. It says, sorry. Yes. So, sorry. What happened is it is counting whatever we give from this as a string. So it is confusing. It is trying to match a string value with a numerical value, which is not possible. So it's triggering the else statement. So to fix that, just have a integer function, integer, and inside the brackets of the integer function, type the input function. Yes, just keep the input function inside the brackets of the integer function. Now it should work. So 1, value of UI is 1, so it works. 2, value of UI is 2. 3, value of UI is 3. For before we trigger the else statement, we can actually add another thing. Turn this into a string, and then we can give, you should only enter the numbers 1, 2, or 3, right? And then we can also add full stop and then but the value of UI is, I'm using the strings for this because this is an absolute must. If you are adding this extra line or something, then you should absolutely must and should use f string and do it like this, curly braces, and inside that UI, or else, and like the user will enter a million, so you can't just guess that the user will enter, every single user will enter a million and type in a million, right? So you should have the value of UI. So whatever number they type that is not one, either 1, 2, or 3, will be inside this bracket. If they either have any number from 1, 2, or 3, then it will trigger any one of these functions respectively. So now to trigger the else, I'll just give it like a blah 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 number. Where's Sarai? Where's Sati? Some random number. If I enter this, it will say it will trigger the else statement. So thank you for watching my video, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel to help my efforts. And I hope you understood what I tried to teach you. Bye, guys.